Glory Hari Boli Yave Vave Hare
When will that opportune moment come to me when there will be shivering of the body as soon as I chant Lord's Goranga's name? And after the shivering, by chanting Hare Krishna, when will there be tears pouring down from my eyes?
When will that day come when Lord Nityananda's causeless mercy is bestowed upon me, so that my desire for material enjoyment becomes very insignificant?
When my mind is completely purified, being freed from material anxieties and desire, then I shall be able to understand Vrindavan and the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. And then my spiritual life will be successful.
Radha Parisisvara Mandir
I'm so very much easier to study the books left by the six Christians. One has to learn the conjugal loving affairs of Radha Krishna through the teaching of these six Christians.
Nautam Das always wishes to understand this conjugal love under the direction of the six Goswamis. Lala Sambahi Prarthana ki, Gautam Das Thakur Acharya ki, La Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Tasya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nishiki. karoti vacharam pangundam giriti girim yat kripaham nahavantam yande shigurum dinatarinam Ananda Madhavam Sushitam Ishvaram. I will read the Sanskrit and the translation, and we read together the verse number 9. Ekada pravishat goshtam sadhulo nishivashati sayana gava uthaya itasta bhramur vraje. Once at night, while it was raining, a tiger entered the land of the cowshed. On seeing the tiger, all the cows who were lying down got up in fear and scattered here and there on the land. Text number 5 and 6. By the way, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 2. Ekantagraha bharavan sashukosha bhayatura tasyastu kramdi tamshrudva rishadru sasaraha khadgam adayatarasa hari Duganenishi Ajanan Ajinad Abro Shira Saldura Sankaya. Translation. When the very strong tiger seized the cow screamed in distress and fear, and Rishadha, hearing the screaming, immediately followed the sound. He took up his sword, but because the stars were covered by the clouds, he mistook the cow for the tiger and mistakenly cut off the cow's head with great force. There is a name of Krishna here. Here the Sanskrit is Balavan, the strong tiger, but one name of Krishna is also Balavan, the supremely powerful. Here that this name is attributed to the strong tiger. Text number 7. Vyagro privrikna shravano nistrim shagra hatas tata nishchakrama brisham bitho raktam pati samutsrijam. Yes. Translation. Because the tiger's ear had been cut by the edge of the sword, the tiger was very afraid, and it fled from that place with bleeding on the street. Text number 8. Manyamano hatam yagram prishadra paraviraha adrakshit svahatam habrum vyutstayam nishi dhukita. In the morning, when Prishadra was quite able to subdue his enemy so that he had killed the cow, although at night he thought he had killed the tiger, he was very unhappy. Text number 9. Tam Shashapa Kuracharya
Tam Shashapa Kuracharya
Kritagasam Akamata Nakshatra Bandhu Shudrastvam Karmana Bhavita Muna. Actually, this is not the good tune. Tam Shashapa Kuracharya Kritagasam Akamata Nakshatra Bandhu Shudrastvam Karmana Bhavita Muna. Tam Shashapa Kuracharya Kritagasam Akamata Nakshatra Bandhu Shudrastvam Karmana Bhavita Muna. Yours.
Tam Tatapa Kuracharya Kritagasam Akamata
Chandrabandhu
Karmana Bhavitamuna
Karmana Bhavitamuna Tam Shashapa Kulacharya Vitagasama Kamata Nakshatra Bandhu Shudrastvam Karmana Bhavitamuna Tam Shashapa Kulacharya Vitagasama Kamata Nakshatra Bandhu Shudrastvam Karmana Bhavitamuna
Vaishnavis. Word for word translation. Tam Him Prishadra Shashapa Cursed Kula Acharya Family Priest Vasishta Krita Agasam because of committing the great sin of killing a cow. Akamata although he did not want to do it. Not. Kshatrabandhu the family member of a Kshatriya. Shudradvam you have behaved like a Shudra. Karmana therefore by your fruitive reaction. Bhavita you shall become a Shudra. Amuna because of killing the cow. Translation by His Divine Grace, Avaishwaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Although Prishadra had committed the sin unknowingly, his family priest Vasishta cursed him, saying, "In your next life you should not be able to become Kshatriya. Instead, you shall take birth as a Shudra because of killing the cow." Purport. It appears that Vasishta was not free from tamagun, the mode of ignorance. As the family priest or spiritual master of Prishadra, Vasishta should have taken Prishadra's offense very lightly, but instead Vasishta cursed him to become a Shudra. It is not the duty of a family priest, It is the duty of a family priest not to curse a disciple, but to give him relief through the performance of some sort of atonement. Vasishta, however, did just the opposite. Therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that he was Dhurmati. In other words, his intelligence was not very good. Om Magyan Timirandasya Ganangara Sharakaya Chakshur Minutam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Datati Svaradantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhakrishna Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Cha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jayapati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gauraki Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranami Haripriye Shakarpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, in this verse, there is few Sanskrit words that are important to witness. Shap. Shap is a curse. And it says, in the Bhagavatam, Parikshit says, Tirashkrita viparabdam. Shata shap happy. Even if a devotee is cursed, neglected, defamed, or harassed, or even killed, hurt, then he should not even try to retaliate, even though he has the strength to do it. Tat bhakta prabhavo pihi. So this is in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, and this is describing the glories of Parikshit Maharaj. He received the curse from Shringi and did not retaliate. Similarly, here, this disciple called Prishadra won't try to retaliate from Vasishtha Muni's curse. He won't try to kill him. He won't try to even discuss the matter. He will just accept simply and go on. He will try even to correct himself instead of trying to reject his spiritual master. So this is a great, actually, example of discipleship. In that relationship, Prishadra is as good as Vasishtha Muni looks bad. So here actually Vasishtha Muni served the glories of his disciple by showing how he should behave. So there is another verse from the 5th canto. There is a king who was actually behaving wrongly toward a Brahmana, King Raugana. You may have heard about him. And he said, after having noticed his bad behavior, he said, Ham, Sura Vajra, Natraksha Shulam Nayamasya Dandat, Nagya Kasumanile, Vita Pastrach, Shanke Brishtam, Brahma Kulavamanat. Brahma Kulavamanat. And it means, I don't fear the danda of death of Yamaraj. I don't fear the Vajra weapon, the thunderbolt of Lord Indra. I don't fear the force of the wind. The only thing I fear in my life is to displease a Brahmana. So we understand that Brahmanas are really powerful because they are endowed with the great piety of austerity. And so every word they pronounce is meant to happen. But the curse of a Brahmana is not without any reaction for the giving of the curse, the giver. Because when someone gives a curse, then he loses a part of his piety. He loses his strength. So basically, you transfer your good karma into bad karma for others. This is really a bad mentality. But we have seen Krishna, or actually Vishnu, very pleased for those who receive a curse and do not retaliate. You remember during the Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna, Vishnu says, I'm very pleased by my devotees when they accept a curse from an angry Brahmana and do not say anything but just hold their hands and say, thank you. You remember which verse? No.
Amarish?
No. 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 I give you a hint, it's in the third canto.
The four Kumaras and
Yes. Yes, when there is Jai and Vijay, the four Kumaras, they curse them. And then Vishnu, he comes and try to pacify the situation. So I think it's in the 15th chapter. I can even try to 13, you remember? Huh?
I'm not sure.
But it's in those. Yeah.
The verse itself, I don't know.
Yes, so it's actually 16. So I can just try to find the verse in question so you realize the greatness of actually tolerating the curse of a Brahmana. Oh, 3:16:11. Can you try to find it? 3:16:11. On the other hand, they captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart and who, their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles, respect the Brahmana, even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. They look upon the Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son will appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. So here, Prashadara's greatness is shown, but Prabhupada mentioned Vasishta's Muni's intelligence is durmati. It means really badly oriented. So it's really strange because if you know Vasishta, then you may have heard about his glories, especially in the Ramayana, because he is the family priest of the father of Ramachandra, Dasharat, yes, not Dasharata, Dasharat, and is also the one who will take care of Sita when Ramachandra will say, get out, and he will be the one also raising Lava and Kush in company of Sita Devi.
No, it's Valmiki.
Valmiki? You remember, huh? Oh, it's not him. But yes, so it's Valmiki, huh? Okay, so he's the one having taken care of Ramachandra. So still his greatness is shown and he's well known for being the priest. I remember when Ramachandra will come after vanquishing Ravana, Ramachandra will ask many questions to him. So how is it that Abhijit is so strong? Can you tell me why it was so difficult to be killed? And Vasishta will answer all these questions. So it's really strange that someone who is glorious like this is behaving like that, no? You don't find really that really strange? Or that even the Lord is accepting him as a spiritual master in the future. It looks like he's endorsing the behavior of angry Brahmana. You don't find that really strange? No?
Yes. Yeah, no.
Please, if you have any answer, please tell me.
Maybe it's a Krishna arrangement. I mean, yeah, I mean, just like Maharaj Parikshit is becoming angry, but after maybe it's not explained, but that's only maybe logical.
Here it says, it appears that Vasishtha was not free from Tamagun. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says he was Durmati.
So it's not really the qualification of Brahmana, about good.
Yeah, normally it's supposed to be tolerant, free from dualities and anxiety, free from honor and dishonor. You have any explanation, other explanation than given here, that it could be the arrangement of Krishna Lila? That's good explanation, but I'm sure you are not totally satisfied with them.
Because Krishna loved the cow so much that this sin was not acceptable. So, yeah, arranged like that to really make us understand that killing cow is really horrible. Even if you was not like knowingly doing it, it still is horrible. So
Yes.
Krishna is like putting.
This is one point I wanted to come. It is generally Brahmana, they have the duty to preserve the Varnashram Dharma and the etiquette and all the rules and regulations pertaining to it. So you have one thing, similar things happening. There is a king called Lord Nriga. You remember? King Nriga? Yeah. So he was cursed. He was cursed by Brahmanas because he was giving in charity many cows. And one day, one cow of a Brahmana went into his herd and he gave that cow which has been mixed with his cows to another Brahmana. And after the two Brahmanas came and says, "Hey, you took my cow, now the king gave to me." And the king said, "Please forgive me, I did that unknowingly, I'm a big difficulty, so please, I beg your mercy, accept more cow, I will replace." But the problem is, the Brahmana whose cows has wandered away and been given, he was called the first class Brahmana. He did not want to accept any charity from king and opulent men, like basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He will not dare to see Prataparudra, for example. Get out of now, I don't want to see him, even though the devotee has a good reputation. Similarly, that Brahmana, he stopped to accept charity from so-called enjoyer, So, and the Brahmana who has received the cow from the king says, "No, what has been done is done. Now it's my cow." So finally, it's mentioned they cursed the king to become a lizard. But yeah, fortunately, by causeless mercy of Krishna, he became great. So unknowingly, sometimes we offend Brahmanas or devotees, and we get a reaction for that. And similarly, here Vasishtha Muni, he did that. But the point I wanted to make is, in the story of Lord Nriga, King Nriga, the Brahmana, they curse the king because they wanted to protect the Varnashram Dharma and its rules and regulation, because it's really dangerous, according to Shastra, to take the possession of a Brahmana. So much so that Krishna says to the Yadus, the morality of that story is never take the possession of a Brahmana. It's like an extinguishable fire. It's a poison that does not have any antidote. The hala poison of the ocean of milk has an antidote, because it's Shiva. Shiva's throat is the antidote of the hala poison. But taking the possession of a Brahmana, even unwantedly, cause you really destruction, not only of you, but your dynasties before and after. So, I think
We should give you back your shoes.
I think I won't
That's
curse.
true.
I won't curse.
Thank you, thank you.
It's good for the community to be aware of that, you know. I think the point is not there, it's just the Brahmanas, they wanted to protect the rules and regulation, the etiquette that should be given to Brahmana, and the Dharma of Kshatriya should not, you know, overstep the boundaries of their property and think that because they are the holder of the kingdom, the Brahmanas who are living in their kingdom are just simple citizens, and actually their hut and things like that belongs to the king. So to protect, to actually avoid that in the future to happen again, they just give a strong punishment so that people will be afraid to do that in the future. And Krishna, he did not blame the Brahmanas. Actually, he just said, that's good, it should be like that. But in that situation, similarly, as you said, Vasishtha may acted harshly in order so that people understand. Even killing a cow unknowingly is a great sin. Such a great sin that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the king, the Chankazi. He said to him, well, even though you are a follower of the Quran, our scripture says that one who is killing a cow has to be reborn as many times as there is hair on the cow in a low condition.
Oh, Krishna.
So in this way we understand the sister is not so harsh, because he says you just have to take one birth as a Shudra instead of having to take birth many times. But still, Prabhupada says the goal of a spiritual master is not to put down his disciple. The goal of a spiritual master, the job, the duty of a spiritual master is actually to liberate his disciples, at least moksha, if not prem. And here, the spiritual master is failing completely. So we have one hint. Okay, one reason could be Krishna Lila. The second reason could be to establish the gravity of the offense. Should not take the cause lightly. But the third reason is that pastimes is happening actually before Lord Ramachandra's appearance. So that means Vasishtha has changed as well. Because when we do something wrong, it's not that for millions of years we won't have the ability to change. So that anger of Vasishtha may have vanished and may have been considered by Lord Ramachandra just a failure, but which has been purified by the many austerities and the many practices of Vasishtha. So we may have accepted him as a spiritual master. So similarly, there is actually almost the same case in the Bhagavatam with Durvasa Muni. So he cursed on Ambarish, and Durvasa Muni, he has to do penitence and ask for forgiveness. Durvasa Muni is also, as you know, one important character in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, because he's the one who gives the blessing to Radharani to cook for Krishna every day, sumptuous, ever fresh, new taste, and give him health so he can carry his duty as a cowherd. So much so that because Mother Yashoda knows that Radharani has been blessed by Durvasa, she asked him to cook in her kitchen every day. And not only that, but in the Puranas it's mentioned, Krishna is considering Durvasa Muni as his spiritual master. So there is many stories, I won't enter into it, but basically there is a few encounter between Durvasa, the gopis, Durvasa, the queens of Dwarka, So he's an important character of the pastimes of Krishna and Varkalila. So we can wonder as well, how is it happening that Durvasa, such an angry person, is now being accepted by Krishna as a spiritual master, as a great character? Well, these pastimes of Ambarish Maharaj as well happened in long time ago. And when Krishna appeared on earth, previously to that, Durvasa Muni was doing many penitence in Kamiyavan. So we have understood as well, he has changed. It's not that this character will be forever angry, like Indra. The character is changing, and even the personalities behind Indra are changing. So even though we may have some bad activities, the motto should be, as soon as a devotee shows that he has corrected his character, then we should accept him as he is now, not for what he has done in the past. So, for example, let's say there's a great, there is the disciple of Srila Prabhupada called Rameshvara Prabhu. And he was a sannyasi, one of the 12 sannyasis of Srila Prabhupada, and he fell down from his position. And if you can see him in Mayapur, he's always there for the morning program, from the beginning till the end. And well, you can consider, okay, yes, he fell down, but still you can remember also the great glories he has done for book distribution, the great service he has done. And now we look at him, he's really paka in his sadhana. So what should we remember about him? The fact that he has fallen down, or the fact that he went beyond the fall down? That's even more glorious. So that's the thing I wanted to say. So yeah, one of the reasons for Vasishtha to have been the spiritual master of Lord Ramachandra is also because he has changed. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Pichetsu Duracharo, Vajate Mamanyanyavyak, Sadureva Samantyave Samyak Vavisita Isa. If someone has committed a great offense, like Vasishtha, like Durvasa, like the Kumaras, in due course of their activities, then if they establish themselves on the path of bhakti, then they have to be considered saintly persons. That's what happened. They are considered saintly persons by the Lord himself. So, I wanted to say a last thing, or maybe I should open for the question. Is there any question?
After you say something.
Yeah, I think it's important. It's sometimes Brahmanas, they are really angry because they are really too much attached to the rules. And that's basically niyamagraha. We see achyara, prayasascha, pajalpo, niyamagraha, janasangascharyo yancha, sadbhakti avinachati. Those 6 ways are destroying bhakti. What are the 6 ways? Over accumulating, overeating, over endeavoring, speaking mundane things. Pajalpa means 3 things, the 3 C: comparing, criticizing, complaining. That's basically this. And after Pajalpa, by the way, those things they are said in Bhakti Loka by Bhaktivinoda Thakur to be happening successively, one after the other. One triggers the other. So Pajalpo triggers Yamagraha. So complaining, we do offenses to the devotees. The reaction of offenses is we have bad relation with them. After we lose taste, and then we lose our sadhana. Niyamagraha can mean either we don't do we don't follow the rules anymore properly, or we put emphasis on them. And after, when we fall down from our sadhana, then there is a chance that jana sanghas, we go back to the mundane world, and lodhyam, we become greedy again for material sense enjoyment. So the point is, the brahmanas, they are mostly unable to reciprocate nicely with others because they have the realization of unity. Everything should be uniform. So everything, they cannot process as devotees do the varieties, the differences of approach. Durvasa could not understand so much the depth of bhakti because he was at that time impersonalist when he encountered Ambarish Maharaj, and he could not accept that there is somebody who is doing a different activity or spiritual practice than me. So I don't understand him. When we are uniform in our perception of devotion or spirituality, we basically cannot understand others. We don't try to understand the differences because for us, differences should not be. But actually, the devotee, he has to understand the devotees in everyone, the differences in everyone, so he can relate to them and guide them. That's basically the role of the spiritual master, to act like a super soul. I understand you, I understand your need, so I react accordingly, and I can guide you appropriately. So, yeah, we will just close on this. Generally, we understand atyara to be over-accumulating money. But for brahmana, it can be over-accumulating knowledge, over-accumulating piety, fame, piety, looking for more and more piety, or for yogi, looking for more and more siddhis. So when we do over-accumulation, then we have to over-endeavor for that. When we are over-endeavoring, then people come to you, say, wow, we are so wonderful, and then we start to do prajalpa. We compare ourselves. Or if we endeavor so much and people are not doing like us, then we start to criticize and complain, prajalpa, and then after yamagra, then we are too focused on the rules and regulation. They are not doing like me, they don't know how to follow the rules. I will correct them, and then finally we fall down from that. So it's just because we had over aspiration for something wrong other than Krishna's pleasure. Atyahara. We have put our desire in the wrong place, and the intensity of our desire, our energy into the wrong place, and all that triggers a bad reaction. So similarly, Vasishtha was maybe here dogmatic because he was putting too much emphasis on the rules and regulation, because his desires to preserve was maybe too strong. He was maybe endeavoring too much, doing too much austerity. So that's it. Is there any question?
Thank you for the class. My question is, like, first, where did you find the relations between
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga?
From Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This is the commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur on Nectar of Instruction.
And my other question is, so he did it unknowingly?
Yes.
What happens if you do something knowingly?
It's even worse.
So how should the spiritual master react? Or the family priest? If someone do something but knowingly?
Knowingly, then the spiritual master can act in different ways. There is not, let's say, because it depends of the qualification of the disciples. Sometimes the basic duty of a spiritual master is to correct his disciple so that he can improve. But sometimes, even though the spiritual master sees his disciple doing wrong things, he cannot say them because they're not ready to hear about them. So he waits for the moment. That's the worst situation, basically. I'm trying to think about, you can try also to think about an example from Prabhupada's life. For example, I remember Shyamasundara Prabhu was putting smoking and putting down, using Lord Jagannath's future body as a cendrier, cinder. He was doing that. And Prabhupada saw it. He didn't say anything because Shyamasundara was not aware of those things, or not ready to hear. So he just left, and he said to his wife, the only thing which separates me from Shyamasundara is his habit of smoking. He knew that at that time it was already known that we have to follow four regulative principles. But still Shyamasundara won't follow this. He will continue to smoke. But Prabhupada, instead of saying, no, you cannot become a devotee, no, you cannot serve the Lord, no, you cannot participate, get out, rather instead he says, okay, you come with your faults and I engage you, and sooner or later this propensity will be corrected by the purification of bhakti. Is that good? Yeah. So just sometimes time will do the job.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai,
Sister
Jai,
Muni ki,
Jai,
Krishna ki,
Jai.
Jai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol.